All right, we are here with something that is not very common, and that is a One Piece drop. It has been release week for about a week or so now. The new starter deck came out, OP16 came out. The target drops have happened. If you are an app user, I myself tried to get the target drop for this starter deck, was not able to get it from Target, ended up getting it from Collectible Gaming. It was about $30, so about $10 over MSRP. That is something that we are starting to do on the app. Because OP15 and One Piece in general is very dry, we're going to start sharing more non-MSRP deals, but they are below market. So booster boxes that are like $180, $200, just because of the fact that it is under market, it is technically a good deal with the market. We will share it. We'll always prioritize MSRP, lowest prices possible. But for now, we're basically, clutching at straws, trying to scratch together things people are interested in. And it just so happens that that is the market and the situation that we're in. But enough about that. We got our hands on the new starter deck, which is pretty cool, pretty nice. This is an EX starter deck, if you see right there, starter deck EX. So One Piece starter decks, they're pretty similar somewhat to... it's hard to explain. I guess the build and battle decks are kind of similar. Where it comes with Dawn, which is what you use to play the game. It comes with the actual deck that you can use, and the whole point is that it's a starter deck. You can just take it out of the box, play it, and you actually get something out of it. And it actually says on the back that you do get 14 common, 2 super rare, and 1 leader. That's one thing that a lot of people don't like necessarily, is that because you only get 2 of the super rares, sometimes for those super rares you want 4 of them. So you would have to buy 2, not 1, starter decks. I ended up buying 3. I'm gonna give 2 to 2 friends and just keep the 1. Not really gonna sweat it that much. It is annoying though, because in the past I had a Yamato deck, and I tried to get an SR, and for whatever reason it was actually pretty expensive. It was like $4. So I was like, might as well buy a starter deck for 12. And that's another thing, because this is an EX starter deck, it is $20 at Target. I saw some people complaining about that. I get it to a degree, but with the scarcity of this product and the way things are going, $5 over MSRP is not too bad. What's crazy is that GameStop is actually charging $50 for the starter deck. 30 or more, you're kind of pushing it. 40 or more, 50, you're insane. I'm sorry, that's just like nuts. And there we go. We start off by revealing the starter deck. It also does come with like a little... almost every starter deck comes with this. It's like a little playmat that explains how to play the game, the turn-based stuff. And it actually comes, this in the background here is a playmat. This, if you fold it out, becomes a little bit of a Temu playmat that you can use yourself. So as you can see here, it's not a god deck, right? Because the big meme with this is that, oh my god, you could get the alt leader and every card in here is an alt. Which is pretty cool, but completely unnecessary. Because people are like selling that deck for like $600 or something like that. Something stupid. But here it is. Here's the deck. All the cards are new, which is actually pretty cool. I've never bought an EX starter deck. I don't think so. If I did, I don't remember. Usually starter decks are just a leader that's already existed and cards that already existed, and then they add like, I don't know, 2 or 3 support cards, a couple of things that you can just put in the deck, and it makes certain leaders get revitalized or make them a little bit better. Hopefully that's what's going to happen with the new starter decks that are coming at the end of the summer here with Kuzan, Katakuri, Zoro, Luffy, etc. That would be pretty cool. Wow, this is actually a really clean leader. This is, wow, that's a very beautiful leader. I like that a lot. Let's go ahead and take a closer look here. That is beautiful. In my opinion, the alt art for this is very nice. It's kind of like the OG Ace and Nougat. I think I actually have that right next to me. I'll grab it to show you. I think I have it anyway. Yeah, Ace and Nougat. Black and white. These look very nice in my opinion, but this came out before the game was overscalped and overhyped, so you could actually get this for like $5 at one point. Although the black and white looks nice, I love the red and green. The red and green is really, really nice. I love the art style, very manga-esque. Very nice. Wow, very, very nice. And most of these cards have already been revealed. They've already kind of gone through and did the gambit, but we can go ahead and go through here. The gimmick of this leader, let's look at what the leader skill is. That's another thing. The whole point of the leader is to kind of have some special unique quality. For this one, it says if you have a character of 7,000 base power or more, give this leader minus 2k power. So he goes from a 4-life leader, 6k power, to a 4-life leader, 4k power. And then it says opponent's turn. All of your Porca de Ace and Monkey de Luffy cards gain plus 3k power. That's actually pretty good. So if you have a 6k body on the board, guess what? They become 9k on your opponent's turn, which is awesome. Like, it's going to make your cards a lot more sticky than it is. So for this guy right here, it says you may rest one of your Don cards. This character gains Rush during this turn. So basically, if you want Rush, he's going to be a 5 Don contribution. When attacking, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 1k power during this turn. It's okay. In my opinion, the Luffy has a better ability. I believe he can rest anything, if I'm not mistaken. You may rest one of your Don cards. This character gains Rush. And then, when attacking, rest up to one of your opponent's blocker characters. That's really good because that means he can rest Nougat. That's actually really good. I just realized that. Rest up to one of your opponent's blocker characters. So I guess it can pretty much rest any blocker, which is actually really good. I wonder if that works against Kid's leader since he makes one of his characters who's not a blocker. Interesting. This one looks like a searcher. Okay, I'm not going to go into every detail. And then we have an 8/6 Nougat. Your turn. All of your characters with 6,000 base power gain plus 1k power. Interesting, but this is an 8 Don contribution. They could have made him a 2k like the Sandri and Yabato's deck. That would be way more usable. But 8 for 6, I get the point is to, like, you know, use it for your leader ability, but still, it's pretty crazy. Emporio Ivankov. You may reveal 2 characters' cards with 6,000 base power from your hand. Draw 3 cards or trash 2 cards from your hand. I like that, especially for red. Next up is Jozu. He's a 5/6 2k. I think this is going to be a super... First of all, the art is beautiful. Diamond hand and everything. This is going to be a nice addition. In OP17, there's a red Nougat coming. You got to pay attention. You got to think about all the red Whitebeard Pirates that could run in that deck. Jinbei, you may transfer a character card with 6,000 power from your hand. Draw 2 cards. That's actually pretty darn good, actually. Considering some of these are bricks. Marco, love Marco. Blocker, you may trash one character card with 6,000 power from your hand. Play this character card from your trash rested. Yeah. This is the never dying Marco from OP8, if I'm not mistaken. He was the blocker that the meme is that he always comes back and you can't really kill him. Granted, you're giving up a card in hand, so is that worth it? Maybe. I mean, think about it. This is not a once per turn. This is an on KO, right? So that means if your opponent swings like a 9k, a 12k, a 50k, just trash a character, he comes back rested. They can do it again, trash a character, he comes back rested. So he's a very sticky player. The thing is, it's on KO. So if they do Gravity Blade, if they do, you know, in non-regulated, if they do a Radical Beam, is it Radical Beam? Red Rock, my bad. It can get off the board, but that's that. And let's see, Little Oars Jr. If your character has 6,000 base power or more would be removed from the field by your opponent's effect, you may trash this character. Draw 1 card instead. So yeah, this is kind of like what I was just saying, right? If you have this on the board, it protects against Red Rock, it protects against Gravity Blade. That's an ability because a lot of them is just you trash them, period. But this one, it's you trash them and then you draw a card. That's actually pretty good. If only there was a way to get him back from the trash. That's actually kind of an OP ability in my opinion. Then we've got Buggy, a little weird here. If your character's 6,000 base power would be removed from the field by your opponent's effect, you may rest this character instead. Very interesting. I like that. So a lot of removal protection. The thing that will hurt this deck is Gravity Blade. The thing that will protect it from Gravity Blade is this guy and this guy. That's actually a W design decision because if you have these guys who are 9k bodies, it's going to be the case where no one's going to want to swing on them. They're just going to wait for removal. That makes it a little bit harder for the removal. Blocker Crocodile. Up to one of your opponent's rested characters will not become active in your opponent's next refresh phase. Wow, that's actually amazing. That's like Mihawk. There's no cost associated. And he's a blocker. That is good. 6 for 6 is a little meh, but he does have a counter, which a lot of cards that are like this don't have a counter. I like this deck. I like this deck a lot. It's kind of a little bit of a weird one. Vanilla, 4 for 6, 1k counter. Bonclay looking pretty Actually, these card arts look really nice. I like the card arts a lot. And I feel like with the price I got this deck, $30, it ain't the end of the world. So I feel like it's not necessarily a ripoff. I have a hard time justifying purchasing this for 50. I understand the game is fun and you want to go through with it, but 50 is diabolical. Activate man, you may rest this character. Give up to 2 of your characters with 6,000 base power, up to 2 rested Dawn cards each. Okay, so it's a 2K, so no matter what, it has utility, and it gives you a little bit more attack power rested. That's pretty interesting. And then we've got an event, or first event counter. If you have 2 or more characters, 6,000 base power or more, base power, rather, up to 1 of your leader character cards gains plus 4K power during this battle. 1 for 4. Very rare now because Radical Beam got rotated out. That's actually pretty damn good. This is actually shaping up to be pretty good. This event it looks really cool. Up to 1 of your leader or character card gains plus 3K power during this battle. Then, if you have Ace and Luffy characters with 6,000 base power, draw 1 card. So if you have an Ace and a Luffy on the field, you defend for 3K and draw. You gotta understand, this doesn't sound OP, but for red decks and even green, you never draw, ever. So the fact that you do draw, you trash and draw with the Jinbei, the fact that you can draw with the ores and protect your board, you know, these are actually pretty decent events, and obviously it's tailored for this Ace and Luffy, so I'm confused. Hold on. Ice. Oh, okay. I was about to say, like, what's going on here? I have a little bit of deja vu where it looks the same. Look at 5 cards on the top of your deck. Reveal up to 1 character with 6,000 power, and add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. Searcher. Trigger. Activate. This card's main effect. Pretty good trigger. Not a bad trigger. It's nice. It looks like they give you 4 of these. Looks like, yeah, they give you 4 of these. It's actually pretty nice. And then, wow, we actually get the really nice Silver Dawn. Usually whenever you get a starter deck, it's like the dirty recycled Dawn. It's pretty depressing. Beautiful leader. Can't say it enough. Absolutely gorgeous leader. That's really nice. Like that art is very, very nice. Wow. I love it. I love that art. Let's open up the dash pack. So the big get from here probably would be the alt leader. Again, I mean, unless I missed something, I think the alt leader is just going to be black and white, similar to Ace and Nougat. Nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, I really do like the leader the way it is, where it's the red and the green. So let's open this up. There should be, I think, 2 or 3 cards in here. And we'll see what we get. Already I'm seeing Jinbei. All right, let's open you up, buddy. Come on. All right. I'm seeing Jinbei full art. Very nice. Very, very nice. And then I am seeing Little Ores full art. Or not necessarily full art, but alt art. I actually like that. Little Ores, little display thing. And then I guess you get the golden event, I guess? Or is this just guaranteed? I'm a little confused. Can you still fight Luffy? Of course. Is this different, or is this just another card? I don't see any difference, really. Maybe there's a difference. I'm not seeing it. More shiny fire, I guess. More shiny. I guess there's a difference. I mean, it is an alt, because if you look at the, where is it? On the bottom right there, it has a little star to indicate it's an alternate art. But you go ahead and tell me, other than the texture, what's different. I guess it's just the texture thing. Pretty cool, though. Pretty nice. Beautiful deck. Beautiful setup. I think it's a fresh kind of change. Lately, the game's been a lot of yellow, yellow, yellow. Everything is yellow. This is a very nice red and green setup. You're going to be able to take this red, use it in the new OP16 Ace. You're going to be able to take some of this red, use it in the new OP17 Nougat. So it's got some utility. I will say, though, other than the crocodile and the buggy, there is, if I'm not mistaken, not much green in here. Like, at all. Like, I mean, well, Luffy, I take that back. Luffy, yeah. I feel like they could have done a little bit more with Bon Clay. I feel like they could have done a little bit more with having more 2Ks. Of course, this is a starter deck. Of course, you can add your own cards. That's the whole point. It's just a starting point. It's not something that you're going to go through and, you know, do all on your own. But pretty cool. You get 2 of the Ace, 2 of the Luffy. In my opinion, this Luffy is fire. This Luffy is absolutely gas. I mean, in green in general, I think will be good. Hopefully, he's not a manipulated card that people are like, oh, it's $1 billion zillion. Cool cards, cool deck. Again, this is One Piece release week. This is the first time in a long time where you're going to be seeing new releases for One Piece. If you're interested in tracking them, the Poke Restock app does have One Piece. We do have a lot of setup and a lot of existing monitoring in place for that. Check it out. We also have a free trial for the premium version of the app, which has more notifications, better sourcing, and some other UI things and other freebies and things that are add-ons for premium users. So check it out. Pay attention. I hope if you're lucky, you'll be able to get this from Target, because that's pretty much the cheapest place to get this right now. Although, and here's the thing, believe it or not, Walmart might be our savior, because just recently Walmart, after taking a 2-week hiatus, came back, dropped a bunch of Pokemon, had a bunch of bot protection, and a lot of users reported success with Walmart getting Pokemon. So will that translate to One Piece, or is One Piece cooked because there's just not enough inventory? Because the bots always are going to be there, fans are always going to be there. People blame bots, which obviously is a problem. But let's be honest, One Piece is becoming more popular, Pokemon has been popular, and if the inventory is 5k or less, let's be honest, I feel like that's nothing. One Piece really needs to get their act together and start having these 30, 40k releases, especially on release week. We're talking about release week, where Target sold out in like less than a minute, and you're basically kind of forced to look at ulterior areas and different things. And because of the scarcity, because it's so hard to get, you have great companies like GameStop letting you pre-order the starter deck for $50. Half of Benjamin Franklin for a starter deck is pretty nasty, considering these are supposed to be starter decks. You're supposed to start off with them. You're supposed to build from them. It's supposed to be around from $12 to $15, and with this case, it's an EX, so it's about $20. $50 for a starter deck, it kind of defeats the whole purpose, and it really does put a barrier of entry into the hobby, which eventually will slow down new users checking it out. Because I've been playing the game for about 2 years, and it's very difficult to get product. It's very annoying to get product. So it's one of those things where I generally am, a user of my own app, where, I literally use it to try to get some One Piece. Sometimes it's successful, sometimes it's not. But I digress. We got a new starter deck. We got some new things to look forward to. And from here on out, it is nothing but good vibes and nice summer fun. If you are watching the World Cup, tonight there's a couple games. I'll probably try to catch it while playing a couple of duels. So the summer's here. Sun's out. Guns out. It's ready. It's the time to relax. I know right now, if my manager heard what I'm saying right now, they'd be losing their minds, because I am so tired right now, because this week has been nothing but work. And after work, we have more work, and they're asking you how much work can you do before you can do work. And honestly, I cannot wait for the 4th of July weekend. I wish the 4th of July weekend was this weekend, but it is still June the 19th. We are still in the month of June. So let's enjoy it. The new One Piece set came out. The new starter deck came out. And if you're looking for new One Piece or other TCG categories, check out the Poke Restock app. And hopefully we'll be able to help you secure those drops at MSRP or close to MSRP. Good luck.